Don't cross her catwalk unless you want to get slayed. We are getting the tea from Karla Mosley from Beyond the Gates right here on More Please. What's up, everyone? Welcome to More Please. My guest today is no stranger to the soap world. You remember her from Guiding Light and Bold and the Beautiful, but now she is playing the ambitious, free-spirited wild child, Dani Dupree on Beyond the Gates. Please help me welcome Miss Karla Mosley, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Oh my gosh. First of all, I have to tell you, I was hooked on Beyond the Gates the second I was introduced to Dani Dupree. I mean, I feel like we all gravitate towards a woman scorn kind of storyline.
For sure.
But I tell you, you got me when you went into that office and grabbed that golf club and cleared the desk. I said, okay, I'm rocking with her. I am rocking with her. What, like, this is such a groundbreaking soap opera because we haven't had a new soap opera in about 25 years. For you, having been a part of the soap world and now being a part of Beyond the Gates, what was your initial reaction to joining the soap, and also your initial reaction to the Miss Lovely Dani Dupree?
It's a dream. Like, what more can I say? It's like waking up on Christmas Day and getting everything you wanted on your Christmas list.
Yeah.
It's giving history, it's giving culture and fun and drama and looks and
Yes.
strength, and Dani is growing me. She is bold, and she is not afraid to speak her mind, and she loves fiercely and loudly. And I think that that's something that we all can use, right now.
Yeah.
Let's be loud about what we want. Let's be loud about how we love and what's
Yeah.
right, what's not right, and Dani has no problem doing that because she comes from this family.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, so key. We have as Black folks, we have a history of family units really driving us and being behind us, and being families to each other. And so to see someone who is so proud of who she is and so strong in who she is because of where she came from and because of that legacy, I think it's something for us all to remember, that we have strength just simply in our roots, in our grandmothers and our grandfathers, and in who we are and what we can give to our children and our nieces and nephews and to come.
And I think that's what is another key thing that's amazing about Beyond the Gates is the family structure, because there is such a rich history when you start with Anita and Vernon. A rich history in the music industry, a rich history in like politics and civil rights. And then it just trickles down to the children who are successful in their own right, to their children. And it's amazing. It's so great to see such a legacy, and a Black family that has a legacy and also has such a stand in their community. I mean, honey, you say the Duprees around Fairmont Crest, and they like, oh, you a Dupree.
Right.
I got you. You get treated a little differently. Which we love that, and I feel like we in the industry, we don't get enough of that. So it's great to, in this genre, to see such a strong family with strong roots and basically running it.
Yeah. And I think that's such a good point about the industry. It's not that we don't need to see other families like this,
Right.
but because the representation hasn't been there, and because so many of our stories are about dire circumstances,
Right.
and broken circumstances that we are coming through and coming out of. It's nice to see a strong family unit who still has their circumstances and their mess that we love to watch,
exactly,
but that they get through it together.
exactly. And I feel like any soap fan can still relate to the Duprees. They're no different than any of the other families that you were introduced to any other soaps. You know, they still have their drama. They still have their secrets. They still have all the things that make us love this genre. So, you know, people should just enjoy it just simply for that reason alone.
Really, and that's been really refreshing and wonderful for me to see. I love seeing all the Black folks who are able to relate and see themselves on screen. And that is wildly important and means so much to me every time I hear it.
Yeah.
And I love the people from all different cultures who are like, I love Dani. I can't stand this. Why is she doing this? But, and are just as in it. And they're like, she's that girl. We're behind you. Or like, you a mess. You need to get yourself together. Like, whatever it is, from all walks of life. And I'm like, that's what art is. That's why diversity is so important, because it actually brings us together. Because you're
really
like, wait
does.
a second, I relate to that. I want to know more about that,
Yeah. Exactly. Now, speaking of Dani, like when we were introduced to Dani, she was like sort of at the tail end of this very intricate like situation of, because even I clutched my pearls. I said, not the best friend, stealing the husband, and she was best friends with the dog. I said, this is too much. I was like, baby, you involved in the family a little too much, and now you done got the husband. How did you, because when you're introduced to a character like this, there's a part of us as viewers, we wish we would have saw like everything that transpired, that led up to this point. But since we were introduced to her at this point, how did you create and develop Dani so that we would have an understanding of where she is in this moment that we're introduced to her?
Yeah, I think I had to really remember how fresh it was, because it seems like, well, they're getting married and there was a divorce, but no, this really all happened within the last year.
Yeah.
And so just to think about having given up a career, built this man's career, built a life with him, helped him to become who he is, dealt with some mess that he's already been doing on the side, but she's just decided to look past, and then to have this happen, and with someone who she invited into her home and also championed. It's just such a deep betrayal and a crisis of identity that I think she just doesn't even know which way is up. And what's also been interesting is to now, as she's beginning to kind of come through it a little bit. Obviously, she's still fixated on Bill. She's not over it by any stretch of the imagination, but she's starting to have some distance from it. And now she has Andre. She has other things going on in her life that are letting her not be so laser focused on them all the time. So then it's like, well, then who was she before? Because we met her in crisis. So then, and she obviously won't go back to who she was before, but there will be some new version of her who's emerging. So that's been a really interesting thing to track. But that's the gift of being on a soap, is that it's a challenge to thread the needle. And of course, part of soap operas is they'll throw all kinds of things at you. And so as an actor, your job is to go, how do I make this work within this one person?
Yeah. No, I feel like Dani just needed to break into Bill's and Haley's house one more time, mess up some stuff, pass out, take a nap, and then she could be on the way to recovering and becoming her better self. That's all she needed.
By far one of my most favorite episodes to film.
Well, speaking of, you have had some very fun, interesting moments as Dani. I mean, from the clearing of the desk with the golf club, with the gun at the wedding, just consistently walking into their house. And of course,
So one of my other favorites was the mugshot photo shoot.
that's the one I was just about to mention. When I mean, I turned into my mother, my godmother, when I was sitting here and watching that episode. I was in my chair like, yes, you better slay that mugshot. She said, baby, if you're gonna take a picture, get my good side.
That's right.
But what else has been some of your fun, like, memorable moments so far?
You know, the some of the ones that I love the most, obviously, whenever she gets to be a little comedic,
Yeah.
I light up. And I think the audience can probably see that, because those moments just hit. You know, I forgot about the whole, when you spread those two ankle-free tree trunks for the peepaw. I completely, in fact, the past 2 weeks, I've had moments where I've caught clips, you know, because I can't always watch every day because we're shooting. But where I catch clips and I'm like, they let me do that? She's a nut. She's crazy. And it's not, obviously, it's not all me. The writers are doing their work too to create the insane person. But yeah, she just gets so many good one-liners. So I love the comedy, but I love the Dupree family moments.
Yes.
You know, and they pop. It's frustrating when you're on set. We all love each other, but it means for a longer day because there's just more people and there's more coverage to get. And, you know, but you know, the Articulates concert was just so special. Even the karaoke episode was so special. There are things coming up now that we're shooting now that are just, they're beautiful. And I grew up watching A Different World and The Cosby Show, and, you know, like, rest in peace, Malcolm Jamal Warner. But like, when he passed away, I didn't know him personally, but I felt so deeply connected to him and so grateful for that family and what it gave me. And when I see those moments, or even when I sit, I saw the episode where Anita raps with Naomi. I don't know if you remember that.
I do remember, because I was like, okay, now you better.
Right? So I think I had a scene right afterwards. So I was on set and got to watch as they were doing that, and their relationship is so special and beautiful, and it just warmed my heart, because I was like, this is, I want to watch this. I want to see this kind of love. I want to see this kind of connection.
I think, again, that's what is so connecting with this show, is that, listen, when the Duprees call a family meeting, I'm sitting there like, I gotta go too. You know, I got to go find out what's going on. It's like what we supposed to do? What's the situation that's happening? You know, and you enjoy those moments because that's what family is supposed to do. And I think, you know, especially in our culture, when family calls, you drop everything and you go do what you need to do, you know. And so it's important to see such a strong family unit, you know, that no matter what is happening, we all got to come together and fix it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I also love that we all take pride, cast and crew alike, really take pride in the details, you know. And again, it's a soap. We do so much content. You can't get every little thing. There's only so much, you know. It's not like a primetime episode where we're shooting it for 2 weeks. You know, we shoot it in. We have like one take.
Welcome to Soap Life. You got to get that one take. They got to move on.
Right, but I will say we do a lot with those takes, and and the show looks so good, and I'm blown away by what we do with the time that we have, you know, because, but you know, it's like, there are just certain times where we go, we wouldn't do that. Or is there Miss Tamara is really big on like the tea set, you know, she's like, do other coasters under these teacups? You know, that's like a big thing for her. Because she's like, we're a rich family. We're gonna have this. If we have the set, let's have the set. You know, like, things like that. That, you know, we just take pride in those details because we know it's important and because we want it to ring true.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, the sets, everything, the clothes, everything is so amazing, and it really takes you into this world. You know, I feel like sometimes when I watch the episode, baby, I got to put on my Sunday best because I'm going into Fairmount Crest. You know, y'all don't play over there, and so everything really does come together. And so I love that everyone is so invested in the show because, you know, even those things that people think we're not paying attention to, so fans will pay attention to, because you'll get a DM like, oh, that glass that you use, you put this in it, but that's actually used for this.
Yes, we
they'll
know.
they'll get you. They will
We
get
know.
you.
And there's sometimes where production will just go, okay, we gotta go. And we're like, we're gonna hear it. We're gonna hear it.
Well, let's hear from our another huge fan of Beyond the Gates. We have Ursula from Vegas with a question for you. Let's add Ursula. Hey, Ursula.
Hi. Hi, Karla. How are you? I'm so excited to meet you.
You too.
Oh, and you're beautiful. Okay.
Yeah.
Being that you all are taping way ahead of what we're seeing now, how do you feel about the way the writers are taking Dani's character?
That's such a good question. I love it. You know, as I was saying, I think we're watching her healing journey. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes she's more healed than others. You know? But I'm loving seeing who she is becoming, who she's blossoming into. And, you know, I think even without all of the betrayal, when you get to a certain age, you just start changing. It's just inevitable. And especially if you've had children, if they've grown up, you know, it is a huge identity shift. And so I love how she is maturing in her own way.
Yeah. Yes, definitely. From watching her from the beginning, you know, from where she started, where we met her, and then she went through this crash out phase, and then it was like, okay, now I've got Andre, but then now I want to do my modeling agency. I'm getting back into where I started, like what Bill took from me. I am back to my own womanhood, and I just love it, and I know that there's so much more coming for Dan, and we can't wait. She's our favorite character.
Oh, thank you. Mine too.
Well, thank you.
She, you know, as much as she matures, she's still Dani. And that's what I love about her. Is like, as much as she grows, you know, she always got a second gun. If they took the gun that's used in the wedding, she's got another one hidden somewhere.
That is Dani for you. That is Dani for you. Well, Ursula, thank you so much for popping in and sharing your question with us. And
so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Karla. God bless.
You too.
Oh my God. See, everybody loves them some Dani, Karla. Everybody loves them some Dani.
You know, when I was at Essence Fest recently and this woman said, we've all had our Dani moment. And I was like, that is so true. We've all had that moment where you're like, I'm a little out of my mind right now.
Yeah.
And y'all just gonna have to deal with it.
Exactly. I mean, listen, if you are of a certain age, you had your Bernadette moment from Waiting to Exhale. But now in this generation, we having Dani moments.
Oh, I love that. Oh my gosh. If but only that is the legacy I get. Those are the footsteps I get to follow behind.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, I'm telling you, when you cleared that desk, baby, that solidified that 100%. We also have a question from Rob out here in Los Angeles. He says, what is a character flaw that Dani could work on?
I'm like, just one? She got some character flaws. Okay, let's see. What is the biggest one? I think she could just slow down a little bit. You know, I think she's someone who is incapable of not saying what's on her mind. Yeah. It has to come out of her mouth or her body or something, you know? And sometimes it's like, you know, they're just saying like, doesn't need to be said, doesn't need to be said now, doesn't need to be said by me. Doesn't need to be said by me now, you know? And a lot of times, it don't need to be said by Dani, but she's gonna say it. So, you know, I think she could work on zipping the lip a little bit, but I don't think she's going to. So
listen, and there are times where we will fill in the dialogue for you, because when you came into Uptown and you saw Andre and Ashley and you just said, we said, oh, we know what you said. We know what you said. They didn't have to write it. We know exactly what you said.
I know. The director, I don't even know. It was so funny because they shot those 2 episodes. They shot the episode where she comes in, and then the follow-up episode in 2 different days. So I literally came in one day just to do that moment. And so I think because I just had that one moment to do, I was like so ready. And the director was like, just come in and do what you're gonna do. And he was like, whatever that was.
You needed, there were no words needed. You literally looked over there, slammed, and WTF is what was said and not said.
Right.
Now, one more question from Julie in Los Angeles. She says, Dani has so many sides to her. She's a daughter, sister, mother, ex-wife, secret lover, and business owner. Which side of Dani do you think has surprised you the most?
I don't know about the side of her that surprised me the most, but I think I've been surprised at the development of the relationship with Andre.
Yes.
Because it seemed like it was just going to be frivolous and fun, and now it's developing into something that's deeper and layered in a very interesting way. So it's it's kind of a little bit more than the Stella's got her groove back storyline. And I don't think that I expected that.
Yeah, I think we as fans were on the ride with Andre and Dani of just being like, y'all need it. Sometimes you just need somebody else to be in the bed with you, right?
Right.
But then there is just something that is so connective about Andre and Dani that we were like, okay, hold on.
Yeah.
There's something else here.
Yeah.
And both of you deserve this. And I don't think both of you realize it yet. Like Andre is like, I'm ready to lock it down. Dani's like, hold on. Let me just live my life a little bit. And then we can explore.
Exactly.
But that kiss came during the articulates. I was like Chelsea and Naomi, like, oh,
I know.
Y'all out here in public, honey.
Me too. I'm telling you. Sometimes I'm outside of Dani's just as much as y'all are. I'm like, what are you doing? Your daughters are right there. She's so bold.
Very bold. Well, let's take another deep dive into more of Dani. And I like to call this little segment the Dani do tea, honey. So we are going to get into all the tea of Dani. So first off, let's find out, who do you think Dani is most like, Anita or Vernon?
Anita.
Anita?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think Anita would hate to admit that, but yeah.
Yeah. Because Anita can be that girl too.
Listen, the way she was with Eva, I feel like, and even Ted, I felt like Dani went into the room thinking she was going to rip Ted a new one. And then she was kind of a little, like, I think she just was having a conversation with him. Like, how could you do this to my sister, in a way that she didn't expect? Yeah. And then her mom came and she's like, oh, never mind. Let's do this.
I got this. We gonna get this.
With Eva, same thing. Dani was just gonna like, go,
mom. You got this, mama. I'm gonna sit back on this. Well, speaking of that situation, do you think that Nicole should forgive Ted about Leslie and Eva?
It's a hard one.
Yeah.
It's personal. Yeah. I, Karla, am a very forgiving person, overly forgiving. So I probably say, yeah. But you never know someone else's pain, and you never know what they're carrying, what the promises were, what people say in their bedrooms, or promises they make or not make. And, for her to have been going through fertility issues and feeling so vulnerable, and it's embarrassing. So, while I might think that she should lay off a little bit, it just takes time for people to grieve, and you can't make someone else do a thing that they're not ready to do.
That's true. But y'all keep holding secrets from her, and she gonna blow everything up.
That's the truth. There's clearly a side to her.
Yes, because listen, I think everybody got a little touch of like, I can handle this if I need to, but everyone knows how to mask it a little bit. And Nicole has it together, but y'all keep poking her.
100%.
Now, who do you think is a better match for Dani? We were just talking about Andre, but do you think Andre or Bill?
Oh, you trying to get me in trouble?
I mean, listen, I'm gonna say there's stuff there with both of them, because when Dani went to the rescue, when Bill was in the hospital, I said, "Baby, she's still playing the wife role, honey." She said, "Haley, step to the side. You a little girl when it comes to
right back
this."
into it.
Yeah,
And that's real. I'll tell
yeah,
I have seen it in my own life.
yeah.
Because if you have history like that with people, it's just,
That
at
doesn't
the
go
end of the
away.
day, it's like I was there 20 years ago when he had pancreatitis. So I
Mm-hmm.
know about that thing that happened. Like
Yeah.
this is medical. This is real. I have the info and there's nothing you can do but step aside and let the
Mm-hmm.
person who knows do what they do. So,
Exactly.
yeah. So, but to get back to your question, oh my gosh, I think again in the beginning,
Mm-hmm.
I would have said Bill
Yeah.
because it felt like Andre was younger and didn't really understand. But there is this new Dani blossoming, so
Mm-hmm.
Andre actually might understand the new Dani better than Bill does because
Yeah.
he'll expect her to go back to those same old roles,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not who she is anymore.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
it's
Yeah.
a very Bill would have to be willing to change,
Mm-hmm.
and that's a tall order for a stubborn man like that.
Especially like Bill Hamilton, honey, because he ain't gonna change for nobody. Bill gonna do Bill.
And I think that's the thing. It's like, who is this Bill that Dani loves? Who is the
Mm.
Bill that she's pedestalizing?
Mm-hmm.
Did he
Mm-hmm.
ever exist?
Yeah, yeah. Because is it the man that he is now? Because he's kind of been like that, but we all have our rose-colored glasses. So,
Absolutely. And they have a
hmm
lot of history, so on some level she does understand. It's like, it's the crazy she knows, and it's
yeah.
easier, but is it actually easier?
hmm Okay, now let's get to some of the kids. Do you think Madison is a good fit for Chelsea?
Oh, yeah. I think they're a
I,
good fit. I like them. I mean, I
me
think,
too.
at first they were learning each other. Now, will it be forever?
Hmm
Chelsea's young,
Yeah,
but Dani got married really young too. So I think she is kind of quick. Dani has a little codependency. I think she's
a little. You don't want to work with me? I can't be a part of the
quick.
business. What's going on?
She's quick to go into like have a long-term thing. So I think she'd be quick to obviously she was like introducing Madison to the family.
And I was like, wait a minute, we already there? Like,
She's such
because
a mess.
Danny is over here, then kept Andre a secret for months.
I know.
Y'all been together for 2 weeks.
Oh my God. Yeah. So she would be quick to marry them off, but for now, I think, the fact that she's kind to her and good to
Yeah,
her and Chelsea feels connected to her, that's important.
yeah. Now, Naomi got a lot of tea these past couple of weeks. Do you think she should keep what happened with Martin and Vernon a secret from Jacob?
Oof, that's rough.
Mm-hmm. We talking relationship, wife and husband.
I know, but then also legal.
Legal, yeah.
It's terrible that she was put in that position, to be honest.
Yeah.
If I were her, I'd probably keep the secret.
Yeah. Okay. Because I almost feel like I think of Anita and Vernon, and I'm like, are Naomi and Jacob are they there yet? Like, are they that couple that like really truly can ride or die? Even as working as a police officer or as a detective and as a lawyer, like, can they really be that open with each other?
But the thing is, Jacob is gonna report it.
He is.
That's just who he is.
Yeah.
That's who he is, So again, I think it's terrible that she's been put in that position. I think probably the right thing to do is share it so that there are no secrets in your relationship. But at the same time, knowing that could send your cousin and your grandfather to jail.
Yeah, that's tougher. That's a tougher feeling. Last one, and this the big one. Haley. Period. I'm gonna let you say whatever
What
you need to say about her.
What is there to say? First of all, Dani was right. Come on.
Before you popped in, I was talking to Ursula and I was like, we wanted to like believe Haley was pregnant and that Dani was just being Dani. And it's like, girl, like that's so far-fetched. But then this week,
A mess. And let me tell you, as a mother, personally, it was so hard when they gave me those scenes to go to another woman and be like, you're not really pregnant. You're faking it. Da, 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 da. And I was thinking to myself, it's gotta be, she has to be right. Like, why would she do this? This is so wrong. She has to be right. Please let her be right. Even though I didn't want her to be because it's terrible. But but I'm like, please don't let her be this cruel for nothing. So when the scripts came out, I was like, okay.
It's like, yes, I knew it. I knew you want to say, I knew that little heifer was up to something.
That's right. But Dani doesn't know.
She doesn't know for sure. But even in those scenes as a woman, there's still a care that Dani has. Like no matter what Haley has put her through, she was still like, baby, we got to get you to the hospital. Let me help you. Let me do this. And Haley, had her acting chops on and was like, no, you stay away from me. I was like, girl, okay. All right.
Those scenes were so good. She killed it. They were really fun. They were really fun to shoot. But yeah, I agree. I think in that moment, and even Pamela just saying, I know who you are. I know you're upset, but I also know your heart. And if this woman is in need, you need to help her.
Yeah.
And Dani is like, you're right.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you for that. Yes, you had spilled the Dani Dupree, honey. I live. Come on, T. All right. So before we part ways, because I can talk to you forever, but I know there is so much more to come, and I really hope we can kiki and chat again as we continue seeing the evolution of Dani. But Beyond the Gates as a whole, we talked about at the beginning how this is such a historical soap. 25 years later, we're finally getting a brand new fresh eyes of the soap genre. You being a part of the soap genre, do you feel like Beyond the Gates has pumped life back into soaps?
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel really proud of that. I think even, Bold and the Beautiful, they're moving studios, which has been in the plans. It's not like it's a new thing. CBS sold the building a long time ago. But, from what I hear, there are new sets, new things coming, new things coming down the pipeline, So, and even just in the storylines and the hiring of, some more diverse characters on the other shows and giving more screen time to different kinds of stories. I think that is partially due to the success of our show. And it's not that they haven't done that before. I was on Bold and the Beautiful. I love that show. And I loved my storyline on that show. But, just to realize that it's not a flash in the pan. It's not a gimmick. It's just that we all resonate to all of these different kinds of stories. Like, as we were saying in the beginning, it's not something that is ticking a box. It's actually filling a need that we all have to see all kinds of people on our screens. And then not only as far as representation, but also just the look of our show. We have new cameras and this amazing team. Our Teresa Featherstone, who is doing our wardrobe, our Wankia, who's doing our hair, and Stevie Martin, who's doing our makeup. Like, these department heads are just putting so much. Even Vinny, who's doing our lighting, it's a Bruton who's building our sets. Like, I could just go on and on and on at the level of artistry. And it's been really fun to work with people who have been in this working in this genre for many, many years, and then also people who are fresh to it because they bring new perspective.
Yeah.
They bring a freshness in a way of doing things in a different way, because you kind of get into a like, well, this is the way it's done. And have someone come in and go, but what if we did it this way? You know?
Yeah.
It means that it breathes some new energy and life into something that's been around for a long time.
Exactly. And another thing that is freshening the sets of Beyond the Gates is Tide and Febreze.
No. Oh, yes. Oh, yes, baby.
Listen, give me those shots anytime, honey. When I tell you, if people are not rushing out to buy Tide and Febreze at this,
it
they
cracks
doing
me
it
up.
wrong.
The best meme, and someone shared it, I think Ariel shared it on our cast thread, was someone got a 3-pack of Febreze and said, I'm naming it the Articulates. I was like, done. Y'all are hilarious.
Listen, we all aspire to be Nicole and just take that Febreze and just.
She's got it down.
Oh my God. Well, Karla, thank you so much for joining me today. It has been such an absolute pleasure. You are such a talent and so amazing as Dani Dupree. And we cannot wait to see more of Dani. But folks better watch out, because Dani is cool right now, but you keep poking her, she's going to get that golf club again.
It doesn't take much. Actually, one of my favorite, just to close that on this, like one of my favorite moments is when she goes up to Tomas, you know, when he's in the hospital and reads it. Like she will not leave. Do not mess with my family. Do you hear? Don't.
Dani is like Dani's the Don Corleone of the Dupree family, low key.
So nice to talk to you.
So nice to talk to you.
And thank you all out there for watching and supporting our show. We really, really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Oh, well, you have a beautiful day, and thank you so much, Karla.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Oh my gosh, everyone. That was the amazingly talented Karla Mosley, who you can see as Dani Dupree on Beyond the Gates on CBS and Paramount Plus. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to More Please. We'll be back again where I give you more. Have a good one, everyone.